Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. We're so delighted to have you join us for our first episode of Beyond the Ropes for the new year. Laurie, how was your New Year?
Great, great. Spent it down at my cousin's house in Wales. We had a great time. Lots of drink, lots of food, lots of camaraderie, lots to talk about.
That's all you can ask for. So we thought that a great place for us to start for our first episode of Beyond the Ropes for 2026 is to talk about, the year looking forward in boxing and what we want to see, what we expect to see, and all the good stuff there. So we've got lots of different categories. I'm going to throw a lot of this over to Laurie. You're going to throw it back to me. But we're so interested to hear you guys' thoughts as well in the comments, whether you agree with our choices or you disagree. Do let us know. To start things off.
Yeah.
So this one is the dream fight for 2026. And let me be clear, it's a fantasy fight.
Right.
So it's not one that, is in the talks of being made. It's like your fantasy fight. It could be anything. What would you say?
I've given this a lot of thought, and it's not an easy one because there's so many fights I would love to see. But the one that kept coming back into my thought process was Jerome Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. Now, these two guys should have fought some time ago. We're getting on to that period now whereby it's got to happen sooner rather than later. They're both top fighters, both in the same weight class. There's no reason why this fight shouldn't happen. It simply has to happen. That's the one I'll see.
I love it.
Boots versus Ortiz.
I can definitely see why. I think for me, although slight weight disparity, I would love to see. So Bam Rodriguez is one of my favorite boxers. Inoue's just defended his undisputed crown 4 times in one calendar year. I would love to see Bam go up to super bantamweight and face Inoue. I think that would be absolutely stellar. They're both pound for pound kings, so it would make for a cracking fight.
I'm here for it. I'd love to see that fight.
Next category, make or break year for which fighter?
Now, that's an interesting one because there's so many fighters that you could apply that to. If we're looking at it domestically, then obviously you've got the likes of AJ and Fury, but obviously what's happened to Anthony, the tragic events over in Nigeria, we're not sure if he's going to box again in 2026. Indeed, I would be surprised. But we know that Fury's coming back, so this year's a big year for him. But then you've got also the likes of Ryan Garcia, people like that, who are sort of teetering on the edge. Didn't have a great 2025, but he's still going to get a world title shot, which he doesn't deserve in 2026. If he doesn't win that fight, he might as well retire and go Misfits or something like that. So, yeah, there's a few. Devin Haney, he's back on the comeback trail, just won a title. He's looking for big fights. There's so many fighters out there, but, yeah. For the likes of Fury and people like that, Ryan Garcia, this is a massive year. Devin Haney, and 1 or 2 others as well. I mean, I'm sure you're going to name a couple of that.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of those. Definitely Tyson Fury is in that. I also think like Joshua Buatsi, it's a bit of a make or break year for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Not in like a truly dramatic way, just in the sense of just he's been on this trajectory. It's been a bit slower than everyone's thought. What are we doing in 2026, I would say Joshua Buatsi, thinking domestically still. Craig Richards, I think, also falls into that. He just got an emphatic win over Dan Aziz.
Yeah, he did.
And
shout out to Dan Aziz.
Yeah, shout out to Dan and Craig as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in 2026. I think Conor Benn can also be put in that category a little bit. So many. So we'll see.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. So next category, breakout star. So this is a prospect.
Right. I'd have to go with Moses, man. We did a previous show where we spoke about who was our prospect of the year. It's got to be Moses, man. I mean, he's there or thereabouts, especially with Usyk not really giving too many clues as to what he's going to do in 2026. This is a massive year for Moses. I think he was definitely going to win a world title sometime in 2026, probably the latter part of it. He's got a fight coming up in the early part of the year. If he gets through that, it'll be right on
the cusp.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, this is a massive year for him. So I'm going Moses Itami.
I would agree with you, and I would say that also, to add to that category, Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, I that is a very good choice. I did think about Ben Whittaker when you raised that with me previously. Yeah, this is a massive year for Ben Whittaker. I mean, I'm really sold on Ben Whittaker. I know some people aren't, some of the people I speak to, some of the people I engage with online, they still think he's a bit more style over substance. But for me, man, they don't give away Olympic silver medals. He's a top talent. I think he's with the right training team, right promoter. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, agree with you. Okay, one fight that has to be made in 2026. Otherwise, boxing has failed us.
I would go back to Boots versus Ortiz.
Concur. Yeah, definitely. It's got to happen.
If anyone can make that happen, Turkey Al Sheikh can make this happen. He's done it in the past. Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. I would have said AJ versus Fury, but obviously with the sad events that's taking place over in Nigeria, obviously AJ's health and mental health takes priority over what we want to see. So we'll put that to the side for 1 minute. But other than that, it's got to be Boots versus Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, another one to throw in the mix there as well is, I know Benavidez is going up to cruiser, but he's talking about coming back down to light heavy. So once he's back down to light heavy, if he does that in 2026, I would love to see him face either Bivol or Beterbiev. And I know there's been talks of Beterbiev and him. They were both like keen to face each other. So that's one fight that has to be made.
I'd love to see that fight.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Jai Opetaia get a big fight as well, man, because he's one of my favourite fighters, but he's in that who needs him club. He's in that boogeyman club.
He's in the most avoided club.
Yeah, nobody wants that smoke.
Yeah.
With Jai, man. I feel sorry for him. He looks like he's going to have to go up to heavyweight at some point.
Definitely.
There was some slight talk about maybe Benavidez going up to cruiser and fighting.
Well, he is
Jai
going up to fight Zerdo, isn't he?
Yeah. So if you beat Zerdo, which I think he's got a great chance of doing, you never know, he might fancy that fight. But let's hope that Jai gets a big fight in 2026.
He deserves it. Yeah. Okay, so to close off this the show, we're going to, each of us, we're going to discuss a hot take. So my hot take that I want to discuss is Benavidez moving up and still not getting full credit.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen because he's fighting Zerdo, isn't he? And Zerdo Ramirez is not the most well-known of fighters. Certainly not in our part of the world, anyway. Maybe he's in Mexico and some parts of America, but certainly not in Europe and in the UK. So, yeah, I could see that. I could see that, which is unfortunate because Benavidez is a great fighter.
He's a great fighter, and I really, apart from like Terrell, who we always have on the panel for the watch-alongs, you know, he's been championing Benavidez to me for a really long time, and I have to say, like, I totally am on board with it now, but I can see why we put him in that category of not getting full credit, because he is fantastic and he gets all these wins and he has this real like pace about him going through the gears through his fights, but somehow he just doesn't he's not given the pedestal that he deserves.
Yeah, I see that as well. And what makes it worse is that David Benavidez, if you ever watch him fight, you will know he's one of the best fighters to watch in boxing. Aggressive, throws bunches of punches, and he's always good to watch. He can be hit as well, which makes him very watchable. And you're right, he doesn't quite get the credit he deserves, maybe because he's not had those fights that really catapulted him into the public, sphere consciousness. But yeah, let's hope that changes in 2026.
Absolutely. And then there's the last hot take that we're going to get into briefly before we close out for the day. Laurie, do you want to give us the honours?
US heavyweight boxing, is it still relevant in 18 months? Now, that is a great question, because right now, US heavyweight boxing is in the doldrums. I can't name you... I mean...
You can name a couple, right?
Yeah, but there's no one that really stands out. There's the guy, the Olympian guy. I forget his name
as well.
Well,
and I think that kind of answers
But Jared Anderson was being spoken of before. He's not on that level. He's not going to do it.
It's really interesting to kind of make that comparison between the UK heavyweight scene, which is just booming and has been booming for, a long time, and the US heavyweight scene, which doesn't... When was the last time it boomed? Is it
Torres? That's this guy's name.
Torres, yeah.
Torres. That's his surname. I forget his first. Is it... Yeah, Torres, anyway.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's decent, but I don't think he's going to reach the heights of a world title. I've not seen anything to suggest that so far, anyway. So
Yeah.
You're right about that one. I've got a couple very quick ones I want to hot takes that I don't think will take off. Actually, I'll just stick with one for time considerations. The Zufra thing with Dana White. Much has been spoken about that. They've aligned themselves with Turkey Al Sheikh, which does give it a chance because obviously Turkey's got the money. But their whole sort of premise of what they're looking to do, the stuff with Dana White, who I've got no time for anyway, I don't think that's going to work in 2026. I think it's going to crash and burn, and I won't be sorry to see that because I just don't. They're basically going to create their own belt. They're going to do their own thing. And he's going to run it alongside the top lines that he's run UFC. And I just don't think in boxing it's going to work. So, yeah, I think that will crash and burn in 2026. That's my prediction.
Do you want to know mine?
Go ahead.
As much as I'm not in support of it, like massively, I'm not huge. I don't have a huge opinion on it either way, but I'm not hugely in support of it just because it's Dana White and the UFC, and you know we've got our own stuff going on here. I think it's going to do all right.
You do? Okay.
Mostly because of the Turkey Al Sheikh, conjunction and injection of financial resources. I think it's going to do all right.
Possibly, but I really don't think it's going to take off. They're talking about they're not going to recognise sanctioning bodies. They're going to have their own belt. And if you look at the way Dana White treats the UFC fighters, you've only got to see the way he's handled Tom Aspinall recently. People who know UFC will know. I ain't got time to explain. But I just don't think that business model is going to work in boxing.
I hope
it doesn't.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not.
There's a lot wrong with the sanctioning bodies, but we don't need another belt in boxing.
That's true. The only thing for me that I completely concur. The only thing for me is that most things that Turkey Al Sheikh puts his hand to kind of come off. So we'll see. I'd quite like to keep our boxing stuff, sacred and as it is. But we will see. Yes, anyway, indeed. Guys, we are so excited to hear what your thoughts are, what your dream fight for 2026 is, who you think is going to be the breakout star of the year. Do let us know in the comments. In the meantime, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next episode of Beyond the Ropes.